Well, it's improved. I ran the lines on the wrong side of the steering column. They're supposed to go under, they're supposed to go through here, not through there. So, but I've gotten it to the point they're actually floating. They're not touching anything. It should be, that should be completely fine once I'm done with it. But I'm not happy about it, but I'll make it work. Don't you worry. Okay, all bolted together. Lines are in. I got the new exhaust bracket in there, holding that up. I have to do the one for the back here. I haven't figured that out. I think the mount is rusted away, but I'll have to see. This brake line, that's in. I got both of these teeth with the license plate lights. This is totally rebuilt, ready to go. There's just no point, if you have one of these, based on what I've found, there's just no point in trying to take this off. It's literally, it's easier just to undo the single bolt that holds this and get it that way. I've got to go back in here, check that hydraulic line, basically look at the hydraulic lines, and then in theory, I can start bleeding the brake system, not me personally. Not bleeding today, not yet anyway. I haven't even looked in here. Okay, well, that is what is inside this thing. I mean, it looks like it's new, but it looks like, I mean, the fluid just, there was no fluid in it when I got it. So they had the brakes running and then they drained it. This stuff just looks like, I don't know what that stuff is. I don't know what I need to flush this system out, but I mean, I guess there's disgusting brake fluid all over the place, right? Anybody know what to do with this stuff? That'd be great. Well, there it is. And just, you know, rusty and gross and dirty and everything else like that. This does, gosh darn it, the lever does move. And I can hear some gloopy noises in there. I have a brand new one. And I'm gonna have to pull that one anyway because I can't get it to work. I don't know. I don't mean to sound down. I'm like, ugh. It's always the thing. Should I risk it? That's the thing, is I'm not being upset. I'm trying to decide my options. Should I risk it and just try to bleed the system with this thing in place? Or should I replace it and just preemptively go for it? But you know what's the worst that could happen? I have to bleed it anyway. Okay, I'll leave it in place. Good advice, people, thank you. Well, you wouldn't know it by the mess, but I successfully managed to bleed my brakes. I can't believe it. I have brakes on all four wheels. And they stopped the tires turning and everything. It's wild, it's crazy. I legitimately didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. It just seemed sort of mysterious to me. But I figured out what I was doing wrong. I was doing a couple things wrong. Let's see. I was using the wrong fitting. There were a few things that I wasn't making sure that air didn't come back in backwards. I didn't understand how the vacuum was supposed to help as an assist, which is you build up your pressure and it continues to pull, and then you can open the valve on the back of your brake thing. Open this up. So you open it up just a hair and it starts to spit out fluid and bubbles. The problem is the way this thing is designed with these sort of end adapter thingies, I get all kinds of air leaks and it's hard to tell what's fluid and what isn't. I don't know. I almost wish I could go back and, I don't know, but I've got brakes. The wheels stop. That's what matters. And it stops. They're a little soft. I can pump them up a little, but they're hard on their own. So But time will tell. I won't know until I, you know, actually am rolling down the road at some point. So check this out. Because I'm using the 67 has a radio aperture in it, which means this down below, this is the later style, this is normally where the radio would go. So I think I've had an interior design breakthrough. This is the piece above the tunnel inside. You got the dash above here, then your shifter is right about here. The 67 has a radio aperture. I don't need two. So I've got this here, and I'm like, what in the heck am I going to do with that aperture? And I was like, I can make a blanking plate, and I can have some fun with it. So I whipped up a real quick blanking plate here. You might remember I was talking about a World War II cockpit clock. So it would be set up kind of like that. The cigarette lighter, I would change to a power source over here. This light is still going to function from here, so you can check your time. The 67 has a map reading light over here, so we're going to have dual lamps going on. And I have space for 2 more switches, a couple of instruments. I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys should put there? I think that's going to look pretty cool. And you'll note the neat detail here. Now, I have a couple of these, but I'm going to have to cut this metal out. Because this, oh, look at that. There's the inside of a World War II flight clock. I have the back off because I'm doing this. So I'm going to have to take out basically this bit of metal right there. You can see it stands proud right there. That's got to come out. I mean, it could maybe sit on top of it. I might not have to cut the metal. If I don't have to, maybe I won't. Yeah, you know, I could probably just bolt it on and then it'd be fine. Have it just float there. It would look nice. Be a nice little detail. Good. Okay, fine. I won't cut anything. Yeah, cool. So I think that'll look pretty neat. What do you think I should put here? So I imagine you're asking, what in the heck is that thing? Well, what this is the last, the most final of the exhaust brackets. This goes all the way at the very back of the car at the rear of the muffler, which it holds up here. It's got 2 moon-shaped C-clips right here. So the whole thing is on these metallastic rubber diddly things, and that isolates the vibration from the floor of the trunk, the boot. Well, that would be the case normally. You can see these bolts right here. See those? This piece right here, that's what this piece is supposed to be, just like that. And it's supposed to bolt into the back of the car. So imagine, if you will, here's the back curve of the car like so, with the bumper is over like that, and then here's the trunk like this kind of a thing. And there's a little box here with 2 threaded diddlies that the bolts for this would screw into right here, and they've been completely ripped out. They rusted right out, they're gone. So what I did, rather than think about that, or welding or any of that stuff, I went ahead and used an old manifold bracket, and I pounded it like this, drilled it, because the wings were just the right width for me to get some metal on them, and then banged this over, just like that. And that looks pretty good. I've got a few things I'm going to do extra for that. I've got this piece here, though it's not going to go. What I wanted to do was get basically some crude, I wanted to get some crude vibration, anti-vibration material in here. Get in there. So like that. So this is what's going to be this bolt head now. It's going to be with some washers. It's going to be on the inside of the trunk. floor, and then you're going to have the trunk floor, and then under that you'll have this, and then you'll have this stuff, and then I'm going to put a bunch of, not a bunch, but I'll put big body washers in here and get that just as tight as I can and see if I can, get that to sort of be more wiggly. Actually, this is going to be up above here, isn't it? I had this all backwards. Wait, didn't I? No, that has to go through like this. That goes like that, and this goes here, and that's our imaginary floor of our trunk is right. I bet this thing is the wrong size. There's the imaginary trunk surface lid, and that's going to come through there, and it doesn't fit, so we're not going to worry about that right now. So that's going to come through like that into the bottom. We all get the idea. So that would be pretty cool. And what's neat about this solution, this thing's going to come out. For me, what's neat about this solution is I don't have to drill a hole. There's already one there. And it's in exactly the right spot. Like exactly the right spot, right there. That's the blonking and blonking and sorry. Well, trust me, it's in there. I can't see the holes, but it's in there. Thank goodness Sabrina's asleep. Just to make my bench a little homier, I found my old time grapher when I was cleaning out here, and so I set that up on the bench. Okay, that's the end of this update. There it is. It's in place. Well, I don't have there's like two like half moon brackets that go on the bottom there. The sort of cabin enclosure, I don't have that going on, but there's our bolt. Note that is orange over red. That's from the GT originally. But anyway, it worked. I can't believe it. Now, as soon as the half moon brackets come in, that'll get bolted in place. Well, okay. I am, after my big day, my big weekend, actually I had a big weekend. I had a big, busy weekend. I'm taking a mental health day. So, I am trying to figure out why in the heck I don't have any spark. I have no spark. I watched a video on how to test the condenser. I'm busy ripping that thing apart, trying to figure out why. And I don't know, I'm not getting what I need. That's a ground. So the video I saw, it had the red to the case, and he had the black to the lead. Well, I have it in ohms. I'm not touching anything. It just did that on its own. I'm not exactly sure what it's up to. Okay, that was red to the case and black to the lead of the condenser at that setting. Can anybody tell me? And now it does that. Now it does nothing, essentially. I can try to run it the other way. You can't see anything. Nobody can see a darn thing. Okay, so I got red to the lead, black to the case. Trying it again, and it went up and down. Trying it again. I don't know, it's just these numbers don't mean anything to me. I kind of understand it, but also the video, he said it was supposed to be a 20, is it, what's it, 20 million? I don't have a 20 million setting. I've got 2 million and 200 million. At one point, I did get readings that looked like his, but I had it on the 200 million setting. I mean, for all I know, I fried the darn thing. I mean, legitimately, I have no idea what I could have done here. Let's go back to 200 million. Let's try it again. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any other solutions here. I tell you, electricity is the tool of the devil. We should just go back to things that people understand, like rocks. Okay, I don't know what those numbers mean. If somebody does, please let me know, because I sure as heck don't. And there it is. There's the handy dandy bracket in its place doing its brackety things. I'm pretty proud of that, huh? Got that all put in here. Oh, you can't see it in there. So that's good. I don't know if I told you on the Spark, I'm gonna go Gordian knot approach. And I just said, screw it. I'm getting a whole new D24, I'm sorry, 24D or whatever the hell it is. I'm getting a new distributor. I'm just getting a whole complete one, a brand new one. And I'll go from there. I don't know. Another MGB came up and I feel guilty for looking at it, but it's got a lot of things that I could use for this and the GT. But you know how that goes. Next thing you know, I'll have 3 running and driving MGs, or in fact, more likely, I'll have 3 not running and not driving MGs. Maybe I'm wrong. I got some new parts. This is the foam rubber stuff that goes around the heater box there, so I can hopefully get that sealed up. It's ridiculous how many parts, how much stuff I put in this car already. I can't believe it. Sometimes I think about it and I'm just like, wow, like that's cool. I'm assuming these are for something. I mean, I ordered them, so they're here. This is the glove box insert for the 67 Dash. A huge glove box, but it's better than none glove box. And we've got brand new clutch master cylinder. This is the generic one, not like the super cool I'm gonna win, you know, Pebble Beach one. Got the servo, the slave cylinder that goes down there, and the line in between. So I'm gonna have good running clutch, I hope, because this is completely lock solid. Can't get it to move at all. It is DEA dead. I'll pull it, but of course I'll save it. You save everything, right? Whew, I tell you though, man, what else did I do that I'm super proud of? Oh, so right here, there's a heat shield. Well, I'm holding it. Here's the heat shield. The one that was off this thing was just smashed. It was smashed. It was all bent and squished and twisted in the thing. I don't know. It looked like somebody had stepped on it. It was wild. Probably what had happened is it had been used as a levering point when somebody was doing something down here. Well, my dad always used to say about damaged metal is that the metal remembers. Metal wants to go back to the shape that it was in. This is that twisted, broken piece of metal, and it just wanted to be the correct shape again. So I've got the rust proofing on it, and I'll get this painted up, and then I'm gonna start putting all this stuff back together and tidying up and things like that. I did it. Despite all my screaming, cursing, wailing, and gnashing of my teeth, I did it. And I got the thing bled first. My bleeder kit. So I got fluid running through the thing. I cannot believe I got that bolted back in. Word to the wise, because the previous owner had never gotten around to bolting this back down all the way, I was able to unbolt it pretty quickly, and that made all the difference. I'm not going to do any more tonight. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. No, it's not too late. It's not early enough for me to start in on the next project, but I'm going to do the next thing. Tomorrow I'll put the pedals, reconnect the pedals back on, and then I'll put those 2 other things in. And I mean, if I can convince Sabrina, I'll bleed the new master cylinder and get it done. There is the new, I know they're called slave cylinder, but I don't know. I just don't, there's got to be a better word for it. There's the new line. There's the new auxiliary cylinder. This pumping thing, either I can't figure it out, or it's not well made, or both, or I'm not sure. But anyway, check this out. So here's the new there's the new line, right? Good thing I was going to replace it. Here's the old one. I was able to rip it apart with my hands. Like literally, it's completely plugged too. So just so happy to be able to get that done. Now I just got to bleed it, and that ought to do that. Well, it was something of a dark and stormy night here, but I still got that in. So there is the, wait, didn't I draw down fluid? No, it's all full. That's in. I've still got air in the lines. I was kind of able to do kind of like a hobo bleeding on it, like my dad used to do, where you just have the tube coming off the thing and you kind of, you generate pressure, vacuum on the one end of it. And I got some of it. I'm sure I didn't get all of it, but if I pumped it up, definitely felt clutch action going on. Clutch box is once again bolted down for the first time in 41 years or whatever. New master cylinder, a new cotter pin, which is always important. That got tightened down on this because it looked like that started leaking, and I discovered I hadn't tightened that down all the way. But so far, it's okay. The clutch, as much as I could feel of it, felt pretty smooth. It is amazing, by the way. It is amazing. You're looking at the old one here, and there's just like sludge coming out of it. Sometimes it doesn't pay to fiddle around. You just get it done. So that's all nice and clean. I can't believe I was able to rip the line apart with my hands. I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts to me. A hydraulic line like that, just rip it to pieces. I had no plan on getting this done tonight. What the heck time is it now? Still though, man, I did not think at all whatsoever that I was going to be able to get all this done starting yesterday afternoon. Completely not in the plans. I mean, 2 nights of work. I'm genuinely shocked and surprised. You know, sure, I did an okay job. But I'm going to call this, I mean, okay, yes, I still have to bleed this, finish bleeding it, but I'm going to say so far that this is, boy, I don't want to jinx myself on this one. It's the end of this particular video. I think we've covered as much of this topic as possible. I'm sure that I'm going to come back to that after we bleed the thing. I'm going to put Sabrina in the driver's seat. We're going to get that done. But I think that's it for this video. I'm not even sure how many parts there are with it, but I'll put it together and we'll go from there.